Hey everybody, it's time for a little movie fun. If you don't know this cult classic, then we're going to have some serious problems. Today, it's the one and only Killer Clowns from Outer Space from the Chiodo brothers. And sorry if I do butcher their name, sometimes it can be a little harder for me to pronounce. Either way, let's talk about this movie from the good and the bad. This is actually one of my favorite movies because of its pure cheesiness and the fact that the clowns are, well, the masks are pretty cool. These clown masks actually also ended up in Ernest Scared Stupid, so that should give you an idea of how cool these masks are looking if you ever watched that movie before. The parts of the movie that I just don't like is the acting feels just a little over the top with like our farmer, that screams, "I'm gonna tear us apart with my bare hands." Pooh Bear, he talks about his dog and getting rich and finding this circus tent that comes down out of nowhere that everyone says either it's like a shooting star or a comet. And of course, off he goes to investigate and finds out clearly it's not. So, bye bye, Pooh Bear. And then you got our lead actress that is always in trouble, Miss Debbie. Debbie, you gotta stop chasing off after things that just come out of nowhere. And if you see a circus tent next time, tell your boyfriend Dave, no. Doesn't matter how much you plead, doesn't matter. You drag him, you go away. Because once you get inside, if you see something that looks like a complete circus that came out of nowhere and lands in like 5 seconds or less, then you don't need to be there. Period. That's like the number one rule in horror films. No. Now, can this be classified as a horror film? A little bit, but it's more of comedy wise, in my opinion. But it does stagger on the film of horror because look at this guy. He's also one of my favorite little clowns. We look at him, especially when he goes, and rides up on the coolest little bicycle ever with even a horn. Now, I say one of the best parts as being cheesy in this movie is the way some of the characters actually foreshadow their own deaths. Like you got, Mooney that runs the town, sheriff, and he says, and no one's gonna make a dummy out of him. Spoilers, one of the clowns does make a dummy out of him. And then you got this guy at I guess, a bar or something when you get up out of there. They're joking about him. Big Jojo riding into town. He asks him, "Can I ride your bike or squeak the horn?" Couple things here. I don't care how big and bad you are. If you see something creepy riding up on some crazy looking bicycle, tricycle, with the coolest little horn, yes, it is cool. But you don't ask if you can beep the horn. Period. And when you see him fly through the air and come back with little punching gloves and you say, "What are you going to do? Knock my block off?" You just gave him, well, his own ammunition of what he's going to do to you. So you foreshadowed your own death. Thank you on that one. And some of the other deaths are funny, cheesy fun. Like, when you see the clowns show up at each of the residents' homes, they're knocking on doors and they're delivering pizza. And you're answering the door holding your wine glass like, pizza. If I see a creepy clown answering the door when I'm there, would I take the pizza or the candy from him? Absolutely hell no. You get away from him. Slam the door, barricade it. I don't care what you do. If creepy clown is offering you some food, you don't take it. It's creepier than the Ronald McDonald, so I'm just saying it's not worth the chance of dying. Then of course you got your other police officer, Mike, that's still in love with Debbie, even though Dave's with her, and he shows it clearly in the car ride where it's just you just don't know how I feel about you, Debbie. Over the top line, but at the same time, you hit the home run deal with making sure this girl knew in front of her boyfriend that you still have all the feelings for her. And of course, the different ways the clowns take people out, whether it's popcorn at them. Sorry, you don't want your Redenbacher popcorn anymore after you see this popcorn, what it does to you. Basically, you're not going to come out at the other end alive or anything like that. So I highly recommend just don't eat popcorn for a while. Or cotton candy, because apparently they love to use crazy straws to drink your blood. Go figure. But if you're one of the lucky ones, you could be, put inside a giant balloon and, well, your boyfriend and ex can come rescue you and save you. Even though, like I said, over top of acting and the lines are a little bit cheesy, I really did actually like this film. It's fun, it's a campy horror fun that it's just great. And Giotto brothers did a really good job with their special effects because in the 1980s, you didn't have like great CGI, but they used some awesome special effects. Like one of the clown explosions. Sorry for a spoiler. They showed where they put the box and glued these glass shards to it and turned it around really fast to give the special effect as it exploded. And I thought that was well done for that part. And of course, throwing the pies at the guy and how it shrinks down to that cute big puddle that looks like an ice cream sundae, but it's just like acidic pies with a giant cherry on top. That was a good touch there, just saying. And some of their little toy ray guns, they were neat. And the clown vac that came around collecting the cotton candy bodies, okay, that was kind of cool. I have to admit, that was definitely. But yeah, for simple special effects like that, I definitely recommend you giving this film a chance. Yes, it's gonna be cheesy. It's meant to be. It's a campy horror '80s film, but you will like this. It's cool. The clown's a little creepy. You may not want to look at clowns later on, but hey, you know what? They're even working on a video game, and of course, we all hope the sequel will one day make it out. They've talked about it before, so guys, please bring us a sequel. I'm curious to see if they come back. Because one of the original taglines was something like "There's no ice cream in space," but who knows? So if you haven't watched it, go for it. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. And I'll see you guys next time.